Work. How's that sound? Let's see. Hopefully now you can hear me. How's that sound? There we go. Yeah, you can hear me. All right. What's going on, everyone? We are back. Like I said, I had a lot of technical issues trying to get set up earlier. Just trying to get my computer to turn on for one. I couldn't even get my computer to turn on. So I was messing around with that for a while. And then obviously OBS gives me the same issues with my mic every single time. So I'm pretty much done using OBS, at least for this type of content. I like the format of EVMUX. I don't even know if you're supposed to, if you just call it by the acronym, but it's an alternative to a much more popular streaming software. And we're going to do, let's see, what all can I do here? It's all going to be the same because I only have just me. So trying to see if there's a way to get it smaller. But yeah, guys, what'd you guys think of that finale? Had a great time with the finale. Sorry, we've been gone for a while. Trying to get focused on Survivor, and just to be honest, this season it's kind of worn me a little more than others. But this always happens. It always kind of happens to me towards the end of the season. Just starts to get a little bit cumbersome. But I had a great time with tonight's finale. One thing I still couldn't figure out is why they had them in the backyard. That was like one of the big things that kept standing out to me. That was really bugging me because I felt like we kind of moved past that. I don't know why. It felt so broken. Them doing that, and I didn't like it personally. But I guess I was I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, I had a great time tonight. Obviously, we got our winner. Spoilers, if there's no reason you should be watching this if you haven't already seen the winner. But I am did you hear your shout out? I did not hear my shout out from Tom earlier. It was very hectic tonight. I've been very, very busy. So I was very upset to miss Tom's stream, but I'm definitely going to go back and check that out. And go catch some of his last couple vids because I've missed. Tom's always my number one person I try and catch every single day for updates, and I've missed the last few, and I'm really bummed about that. I'm really bummed, but all the love in the world to Tom, our friend over at TV Talks with Tom. He's been a huge support to our channel here, and he's just been such a great friend to Dak Chat. So all the love and support to him. If there's any of you that have found me outside of Tom, that sounded weird. If any of you have found my channel separate from Tom shouting me out, because he's given me a handful of shout outs. I reached out to him at the beginning of the season whenever we started the channel, and was just saying, hey, I'm new to the sphere, but I've been watching for a while. Any advice and stuff? And he gave me some great advice, and he's just been such a great friend since. So any of you that may have not found me through Tom, definitely go check out TV Talks to Tom. I think he used to cover some Survivor stuff. He used to cover other seasons of Big Brother. I don't know that he is this season or anything else the rest of this year or next year before Big Brother. But definitely we give him a shout or go give him a check out. Go subscribe to him on YouTube and go follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow on Twitter. Very active, always getting lots of stuff out there. But yeah, I did miss that, unfortunately, but I will definitely go check that back out again. I love Tom. He's such a great friend. But anyway, guys, I had a great time tonight, with the finale. I didn't take any notes. I'm just going to enjoy the finale as it comes and just kind of, enjoy it for what it was. Anyone else find it interesting that, we only had 4, I mean, normally we have all 5 pre-jurors. Obviously we didn't have Paloma. But I thought it was interesting that we didn't end up having Nicole talk the entire time. It was very just chill tonight. They didn't address any craziness besides Taylor in her own right, which by all means. I loved Taylor's speech. It was absolutely phenomenal, and I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. I was sitting there thinking, if I was sitting in that jury and I was already not voting Taylor, that sold it to me. That was beautifully articulated. And I thought every bit of it was fantastic. Real quick, I think I need to go and cancel the pre-stream. I really tried. I really tried getting my other scheduled stream to work, and I couldn't get it to work. Again, OBS causes so many issues. Yeah, I just go look at OBS now, and it doesn't even have the. You can't even hear it. But I'm going to delete this, and hopefully, anyone that was over there was able to see that we didn't end up getting to carry on with that one because I put it in the comments over there. So let's just delete this scheduled stream. So anyone that's over there can just kind of hop on over here. Robbie says, I noticed Taylor apologizing to Taylor at the end. I watched that and I thought, okay, it's so satisfying and so almost beautiful to watch how early in this season Taylor was just so quiet, just kind of taking everything that was being thrown at her to now. And we've seen her grow and evolve over the season and just be able to watch her just completely be like, and that because she said something to Nicole whenever they were talking, and you could tell that Nicole was kind of like really trying to like talk. You're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Like, trying to give her whole spiel. And Taylor was like, awesome, that's great. Yeah, no problem. All right, I'm done with you now. I'm gonna go finish this. I'll come back to you later. I just loved how she was able to just kind of like, you could tell she was just being a little bit more assertive and taking control of that conversation. And so, great for her. I thought Pooch was funny. He was like, I didn't even think I'd be able to I thought I'd have to sit in the audience, buy my own ticket. I just had a great time with finale. The one thing that bugged me was them being in the backyard. I don't know why they were in the backyard. That didn't make any sense to me. It felt very jarring and it felt very detached, and I did not like it at all. But that's my opinion. She's a winning pageant girl. She knows how to give a speech. Yeah, she definitely does. That's very apparent. She did a great job. And I was thinking that too during it. I was like, yeah, she does know, how to do all of this. She's been in this boat before. This isn't her first rodeo. But still, I mean, it's incredibly impressive what she was able to accomplish in her speech, because I do think she swayed a few people. I definitely was kind of annoyed at some of the responses that she was getting, like just watching who is it, Indy and Jasmine, as she was giving her speech, and they're just kind of like, yes, like keep talking, keep going. Like, I was just like, no, come on. Like, you don't get to do that. They were acting all super happy, whatever. I'm going to do something a little different tonight. And I want to see, we don't draw in as big of a crowd. So everyone, as you're watching, feel free to drop your comments in the chat. But we are going to, in the meantime, to kind of offset this, because like I said, I didn't take any notes. I just kind of want to enjoy the show. It was just going on. So we're going to go check out some of Twitter and see what Twitter has to say about tonight. And give me just a second while I get signed in here. Let's see. I always forget that I'm not signed in on here. Is that it? That is not it. I always struggle signing in on. Okay. We want to go see what Twitter has to say tonight. But yeah, how did you guys feel? Did you guys enjoy tonight's episode? It was very, I feel like it was very, very satisfying. A very, very satisfying episode tonight. And I enjoyed it. Yes. Let's see here. Actually, let's do this. Why don't we do this? Let's, I wish I had my dual screen set up here. Let's bring in, let's do hashtag BB24. I think this would be fun. All right, let's go back. Let's just move this over here. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. That's not what I want. Oh, I need to zoom this in and then bring this over here. Yada yada. Okay. And then let's close all of this stuff out. That's not what I want. No, I want to screen share. We're going to do Chrome tab, do Twitter. I think this would be fun. Kind of just hang out and see what's going on Twitter. All right, add to dynamic. There we go. Oh, goodness. I'm having a little bit. There we go. Everything's starting to lag out on me. Okay. All right. We can't really see much this way, so I will click on tweets individually as we click on them. Amira had to throw out that smart comment. I forgot. What was it? What did she say exactly? Because I remember hearing her, but I was a little bit distracted. I didn't really care. I don't really care too much about what the pre-jury says. Let me know. Remind me, because I forgot. Let's see. The face and sword, the heart and shield. Yeah, lots of. You can't really see too much of this, can you? I can't zoom in unless I click on the tweets themselves. But yeah, let's see what else was there. I was really happy that Julie was gonna let Taylor know that she also what was the award she won? It was like best reality TV personality of 2022, something like that. I thought that really would have kind of just landed even extra. You know, one thing too though is we got for the first time we had the winner win America's Choice. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like they've said in the past that the winner was disqualified from America's Favorite. I kind of wish that I wish that it would be someone outside of the winner that got it, and just kind of told them later on, you know, like if the winner did win it, hey, by the way, you did actually win America's Favorite, but you know, we kind of give that to someone else. Even the runner-up, I think, is fine. I don't know. I always felt that was kind of weird, but you know, I mean, I get it. I get it 100%. That's just my take on it. But I'm not bothered that they did that. Just I would do it differently a little bit. And how about the final three? Like, I thought for sure Taylor would have been one of the people as the runner-up. If she won, I didn't think she would have won. I was surprised by that, but I definitely thought she would have been probably top two. I thought the other person, personally, I really expected to be Joseph. I did not think Michael was going to get it after everything that went down with Brittany. But, you know, because even tonight, you could still kind of see that, or no, not tonight. It was last Thursday. You could still see that Brittany was still a little bit like, I got to get to jury and talk to Michael about this. So, yeah, Robbie says, I'm okay with it this year. Like I said, I'm not bothered that it happened in general, like a general rule of thumb. I kind of prefer that it doesn't, that the winner of the show isn't considered for the America's Favorite. But again, I'm perfectly fine that they did it. It doesn't bother me. I prefer it to be the alternative. But you know, overall doesn't really matter. Getting several more people in, guys. Drop your stuff in the comments. We're just kind of hanging out and chatting. So whatever you guys enjoyed, didn't enjoy, liked, hated, doesn't matter. Throw it in there. And we'll talk about it. But no, what I was going to say was I was expecting it to be Taylor and Joseph in the top two, and I was surprised that Joseph wasn't in it. I was equally surprised, if not more so, that Kyle was in the top three. I thought that was interesting. It's a true reflection on, you know, what the fans said. And I'll be honest, I don't mind it. I thought that it at least, you know, Kyle has been through a lot his last few weeks, this game. And some say deservingly, some say undeservingly. I think ultimately, you know, he's still, regardless of, you know, where your stance is on that whole situation, I feel like a lot of people at least think that Kyle has a huge TikTok following. That's true. That's very true. I didn't think of that. He did probably bring several viewers from TikTok over Because even like he pre-recorded like a bunch of videos that he was still having like his family post on his behalf and stuff while he was gone. So I mean, that definitely, that definitely probably had a huge portion of it. I think he did still win some people over, just by, through being on the show. I think there were a lot of people that were still willing to look past kind of what happened. And again, as we said when it happened, that type of, what he had done, it can't be overlooked and it can't be excused. But also, I don't think, and I think a lot of people, on the show, and I think it really you could tell just from the way he was perceived by the cast themselves. I think the cast also was like, it wasn't maliciously intended. It was just a very poor thing for him to assume. So I think they were all kind of willing to not look over it, but also not hate him for it. And I think that kind of showed through the reflection of the audience too. Because like I always say here, I don't like the cancel culture stuff. I think we should give people the opportunity to learn and grow from their mistakes. So I think that was nice that he was at least in the top 3. I don't think he should have been the winner by any means. Definitely wouldn't have been the best look for a lot of different counts. But I do think that, I think it at least was a little bit relief to him that he was at least in the top 3. I don't think he was expecting that. I'm still bummed that Joseph was not in the top 3, to be honest. I really was. I was really expecting Joseph to be in the top 3. I thought it'd be in the top 2. They don't say the top 2, but I thought it'd be in the top 2. Hey, Mona. Mona says hi. Thanks for coming by, Mona. How did you enjoy tonight's finale? Definitely want to catch everyone's opinion on tonight's finale because I thought it was one of the best finales we've had in a while. For the first time in forever, we had a final 3 that Turner was on the bottom of my list, but I wouldn't have been angry if any of the final 3 won. Turner was still not a floater as a regular floater. So I thought it was awesome that we were able to get, a final 3 that was fairly evenly spread for the most part. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I really like the final 3 breakdown. I'm going to turn my fan off real quick. Get it chilly. Oh, I'm like a pregnant woman sometimes, so I'll probably have to turn that back on later. But getting a little chilly in here. But yeah, I enjoyed the finale quite a bit. I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, it was really fun. Let's see what else is Twitter talking about over here. Kill count 15. And hey, she called it. She spoke the prophecy into existence. She is the blockbuster, and anyone that sits next to her loses, and she holds that title. She holds that title. That's an awesome title to hold. One says, I would have been fine with Turner winning. He was entertaining, and he did do some stuff and win some stuff. Yeah, he was definitely a competition threat. Competition beast, really. I thought he was really good, and I would not have been upset if he won it all. I don't think he was the most deserving by any means. He was at the bottom of that list, but I would not have been upset with him winning at all. And I think he really went out with grace too. I enjoyed how he went out, especially because it's finale night, and it's a lot easier of a pill to swallow with having having people come out and not be instantly upset. So I thought it was a good exit personally. But yeah, I would have been perfectly fine if Turner won. Again, not my preference, but definitely up there. Oh yeah, that's right. Taylor's the second person or the second Black woman to make it to the final 2. And she, oh wait, what's tonight? Oh my goodness. That I didn't realize that. Look at this. Okay. So not only does she follow Daniel Reyes after having, can y'all see that very well? I don't know if you can here. Let's go this way. See. Oh, that's not going to do it. Okay. Dang it. That's not what I want. Oh, add back. Cause issues. We'll leave it like that. That's fine. Not only is Taylor the second after Daniel Reyes to Black woman to make it to final 2, Daniel Reyes also did it September 25th, 2002. So exactly 20 years ago to the day. And she not only makes it to the final two, but wins. And yes, Reyes is one of Taylor's inspirations. And that's really cool to see. Crazy Matt says, "Hey, chat and boo." Crazy Matt, I believe you were pulling for Turner tonight, weren't you? I'm pretty sure that's what you. I think that's what we heard from you last time. Was that you were pulling for Turner? I'm not gonna boo personally. I understand the boo. I won't boo though. I didn't mind the winner. I thought personally, I thought it was the best outcome. I would not have been upset at all with Monty winning. In fact, I do think that Monty might have been the best overall player, but it's a tough sell. I mean, listening throughout tonight, I kind of went in with that mindset, and I was like, you know what? I'm not 100% sure that that's the case anymore, and I'm overall pretty happy with Taylor's win. We've had a lot of worse winners in recent seasons, and I feel like it's a satisfying winner for me, so I'm walking away with that. But yeah, I'm overall I'm not disappointed in the outcome we got tonight. It like I said before, crazy. I was telling everyone else before. This is one of the first final threes for me anyway that I was pretty happy overall, and it was just one of the first times that I feel like we've had a solid final three that any of those three could have won, and I would not have been very disappointed at all with any of the three, because there's been several final threes in the past that I don't feel like were all that great, and several winners that could have gone differently. Oh, Lays. Hey, that's awesome. Lays tweeted out, "Congrats, Queen of Lays. You deserve all the praise. We love you." That's pretty cool. She's gonna buy many more Lays. They were like, "Hey, we'll sponsor her," and then she's like, "No, no, no. I'm gonna buy $750,000 worth of Lays," and they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna sponsor her. She's actually probably gonna make us more than we'll get for paying her." But yeah. Janelle says, "Congrats to Taylor for winning BB24. Congrats to Michael for being the strongest competitor BB history. I seriously love watching both of them play, and they were my favorites since the beginning. What a great ending to a season." Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Personally, I had a great time. I had a great time tonight. Crazy Matt says, "I haven't been this disappointed in a final three since Johnny Mac got fourth place." That Johnny Mac was robbed. I will not lie. Johnny Mac was robbed that season. And that's one thing is I don't like discrediting. Season 17 is going to be one that we will go back and watch. Oh, Dylan's here. Any of you that watched Wednesday's stream, he is joining us for our Survivor recaps. And I wonder when the last Big Brother stream he popped into was. Probably some time ago. Who won? It was Taylor, the girl that was bullied way more. I mean, no one should be bullied, but I mean, absolutely horrendously since the beginning of the season, and was able to go week after week after week and still make it, and ended up winning. And it was, some will say no. I think it was well deserved. I definitely do, especially with who was left. I mean, there's overall some of the players that were in there that I feel like were more deserving. I mean, if Michael was in that final three or that final two, I think Michael deserves it all the way. And I wouldn't be surprised if Michael does still steal the win from Taylor. I also could still see Taylor stealing the win from Michael. But yeah, we were pretty happy. I was pretty happy with the winner tonight. My household was. My daughter, who I've been trying to get to sit down for 5 minutes to watch the show and has not been able to do at all this season. She got into Big Brother All Stars. She loved Big Brother All Stars and was always talking about it. Has lost since. I mean, she was like 2 back then, but has since lost interest. But the whole time, the name Taylor stuck with her, so she was rooting for Taylor all night. And then when we yelled Taylor won from the other room, she was jumping up and down singing Taylor won, Taylor won. So that was fun. But yeah, tonight is full of history, and it's awesome. It's awesome. I hated seeing the Monty and Taylor stuff getting thrown. Oh, that's what you were talking about. That's what you were talking about with Amira, is when Amira mentioned Monty and Taylor's relationship, and you could just pan over to Joseph, and you could tell he was not happy. Yeah, that's sad. Joseph is probably my favorite personality this season. Not my favorite player altogether. But he's definitely was my favorite personality this season. I love Joseph, and it was sad to see him go when he did. And I definitely would love to see him on a Legend season, and we might very well get that next season. There's been a lot of talk of next season being a Legends type season, and I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Kind of like a bounce back from All Stars, because we had All Stars and it was nice, but it was also like I enjoyed All Stars a lot, or All Stars 2, sorry, the one we recently got. I enjoyed it a lot more than most people. I will admit that I really enjoyed All Stars. But that still was a very, very bottom tier All Stars, because a bunch of the people, in fact, most of the players that we got were not on the original number one spot. Some of them were backups, and some of them were backups of the backups, because a lot of people were testing positive for COVID. People kept letting it slip that they were going to be in, and not just in like an overall type sense. I mean, they were just blatantly just, oh, for sure I'm going to be on. And so, yeah, there was a lot of issues trying to get that cast put together for All Stars. So I would love to see like a real true All Stars type thing. I would love to see like a Legend season for 25. They got to do some type of all returnees, and you know that they would have had COVID not started and season 20 actually or 22 not been like a regular season, which it probably would have been. I think 25 would have been like All Stars, and it probably would have been a little bit better tier. Again, people were still going to be disappointed regardless. Next season, if it is an all returning season, people are going to be disappointed. That's just how it is. But I would love to see like a Legends, or just a Legends overall, because you can't do an all winners. Like, I know people said that about Survivor and they pulled it out. They did. But you really can't do one with Big Brother, at least not in my opinion. Not with a full 16 season cast, or full 16 person cast. If they trimmed it to like 10 to 12, if they did it, because again, there's the logistics people talked about. Do it like a celebrity season, have it 3 weeks, because a lot of these winners are not going to come back just for the time restraints. That's true. All of that is fair. But it's going to be a struggle just finding people, because the majority of winners don't want to come back. The majority of winners that we've had, CBS probably doesn't want back. And there's a lot of them that have gotten into like severe trouble, like been imprisoned, like doing like a couple of them, I think, or at least one of them is doing time now. I think Adam's still in jail if he's alive. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But I mean, there's a lot of craziness. So an all winter season, a few years from now, yeah, you could definitely try it out. Give it 3 or 4 more years, but maybe for a season 30, if you want to do it for like a real season, I think there's potential there. You still maybe have to scale it down to 12 people though. But a Legend season would be way better, because you could have winners. We've had plenty of second chance game changer seasons where we've had in Survivor, where we've had returning players. Let Adam is out and he does reform type stuff. Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard any updates about him. I really don't keep up with that type of stuff. I don't keep up with a lot of players outside the game, to be honest. But no, dude, I would love to see a Legend season. And there's been a lot of rumors that next season they have to do something big, right? And they didn't do it for season 20, which I was fine with, because we had been on the cusp of too many returnees back to back to back, and I was just kind of done with that. I was fine with it being all new, because it did still feel like season 20, one of my favorite seasons. It felt super fresh. It felt like something we hadn't had in a long time. It felt, even though it was still very modern day BB, it felt very old school BB, and it's one of my favorites. I definitely am going to go back. That's definitely going to be a season we rewatch in the future. But it still was very fun to me as like a landmark season. But 25 is, I mean, obviously 25 is more than 20, but 25 is much more of a staple than just 20. And I think there's so much they could do, and I hope they do something. I would love to see a legend season where we can get some of our legendary players, not just fan favorite, but actually like good players that play the game, that are cutthroat, that are ruthless, and I would love to see it. I'd have a lot of fun doing that, and I hope we see that next season. I do. I'm excited for it. Did also too, Julie didn't announce Celebrity Big Brother, and I'm pretty sure she announced it last season, the finale. So not to say that there still couldn't be. I mean, they could just be trying to work out some of the details and not have everything put together yet. It's entirely possible, but I don't think it's likely. If she didn't announce it, I don't think it's likely. So I was fully expecting us to have a celebrity season, and if they did, we were definitely going to cover it. If they still do, we'll cover it. But I guess they won't. We'll probably try and cover Big Brother Canada though, so stay tuned for that, because that'll be fun to cover. I got to figure out the logistics because I can never quite figure out how to watch it live. There was a Twitch streamer that was doing like live streams of each episode as it aired, and then would cut it. If there's anything like that, because I mean, even just using VPNs, I still can never figure out a way to actually like see the channel itself, to see global as it was airing live. CBB is in trouble after last season. Oh, well, I didn't actually watch last season. I tried, and then it's just like so much going on that I couldn't keep up with it because it is very fast paced. I actually reached out to Tom and asked if he could kind of give me like a rundown not too long ago. I was like, what actually happened during Celebrity Big Brother? And with what was his name, Todrick, and he was like, basically he just said some really crappy stuff. So I don't know. I don't really know what all went on. I was very excited in the beginning. I thought it was also seeing Chris Kattan. I grew up watching Night at the Roxbury. I didn't really grow up watching it, but it was kind of like Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan. They were all kind of like around when I was growing up, and then when I was like very young teenager, I watched it. So anyway, I was around Chris Kattan a lot, and I was excited to see him. It was sad seeing him, and I tuned out before he actually like disappeared, or not disappeared, but before he left. So I did hear that I did hear that how do I get this to go away? I did hear that he actually quit because he was having some personal issues and stuff. I can't get that to go away. I'll fix that later. But yeah, I'm really, that's disappointing to hear, because I think in the premise it was really cool. But hopefully they at least have something. If they don't ever do CBB again, hopefully they do something in its place in the future. Now, when you say Paramount Plus are you talking about Big Brother Canada, or are you still talking about Celebrity Big Brother? Because Big Brother Canada, I don't think they do. I don't think they air it at all. I'm gonna look into it, because I've seen, like, for several years now, I've always been trying to figure out like how to get on, and I reached out to like other recappers and stuff in the past and for previous seasons, and they've always said, "Oh, does Paramount Plus air it as it goes on?" Because that'll be interesting. Because Crazy Matt says Paramount Plus has BB Canada. I definitely I'd be curious if they air it as it goes, because I know that they've had previous seasons on Paramount Plus. I just don't know. I've never seen them air it live, but I'll look into that. If I can find a way to watch Celebrity Big Brother as it airs live, and I know there's a way, I just could never figure it out. But if I can figure out how, then we're definitely going to cover it. I just want to, like, it's hard to like recap stuff if I have to wait like the next day after it's posted on some site that I can then access with the VPN. But even with the VPN, I can never figure out where to go to watch it live. But yeah. But anyway, let's see. Let's go back and see what's other people saying. Oh, there's Tom, our friend over at TV Talks with Tom. He says that from day 2 to day 82, the best underdog story in Big Brother history. She overcame bullying, racism, and a whole lot of other crap and still took the crown. Congratulations, Taylor Hale. And you know what? For me, the moment that seals it is going back and seeing Daniel just completely crapping on Taylor and talking to her absolutely disgustingly. And going from that to where we're at now, in my opinion, is beyond satisfying. And I'm so happy that we actually got it. Just from that perspective. Again, I still prefer that the better player wins overall. And if I didn't think Taylor wasn't at least one of the best players we had this season, then I'd be disappointed. But yeah, I think she's still, there's arguments to be made about who the best player was this season. And those will go on for forever because they do every season. But I still think that we got a fairly decent player, in my opinion, decent winner. Sorry. And yeah, I'm happy overall. Crazy Matt said, I think just started doing it. I'll definitely check it out. I thought so. I actually heard, and I know I talk way too much about Survivor on here. I actually heard that at one point they had Survivor Australia on Paramount Plus, and then that got taken down. So I'm kind of, if they did have it up, I'm also kind of, or BB Can, I'm also kind of concerned that they might have done that too with BB Canada, just because the other networks and regions. I'm actually going to look up on here and see if they still have the old seasons of BB Canada. Let's look at here. Gonna search. Why is it still? I'm gonna have to get my CPU updated because my PC. Okay, so they do still have Big Brother Canada. They also have Big Brother Australia, which, from what I heard, I tried watching the first episode or two of. I don't know if it was last season or the season before, but I heard it's like not even really Big Brother. Michael, Kyle, Monty, Turner, and Terrence all played better games, in my opinion. I will have to very much disagree with Terrence. I like Terrence. I don't think he gets enough credit. I don't. Dylan says season MVP. So the season MVP, basically, it's voted. It's like America's Choice. It's like the America's Choice deal. Was also the winner of the show, which was a first this season. We've never had the winner of the season also be America's favorite player. We've seen them come in close with, because they always read off the top three. And we've always, we've seen that from time to time. The winner was in the top three, but never the winner we've never had an AFP, America's favorite player winner, also be the winner of the season. So that was a first. But yeah, no, crazy mad. I like I said, I think Terrence doesn't get enough credit. I definitely don't think he gets enough credit. But I gotta say, I don't think that I would definitely put Taylor above Terrence. And again, Turner, I would still probably put him above Turner. And I can say 100%, I would put Michael above Taylor, 1,000%. And I hate to say it, but if she did win against Michael, I don't know that it would be people voting necessarily for the best player. I mean, I'm sure there'd be some people that would have that opinion. Everyone's going to have a different opinion from time to time. But I do think that if Taylor beat Michael, that it wouldn't necessarily have been the best player winning. Kyle, I think, here's the thing. I think pre-jury Kyle, 100%. I think the Kyle that then gets too tangled up with Alyssa and too way more focused on Alyssa than he does game, because even at a certain point, he straight up told us that he's focusing, he's kind of throwing his game away for Alyssa. That version of Kyle, no, I don't think is a better player than Taylor. But I think that the pre-jury version of Kyle, if he had continued on that route, I think he definitely could have been way better player than Taylor. But just kind of seeing how things balanced out, I do believe that Taylor was the best player overall out of most of those people. definitely Terrence, probably Turner. I'm still trying to decide Monty. And again, pre-jury Kyle, 100%. Post-jury Kyle, no. Marine says, everyone like and subscribe to the channel. Hey, thanks for shouting that out, Marine. Does definitely help us a lot to like the video if you're here. Liking the stream helps us a lot. And if you are new and you're just stopping by for the finale, we will be back next season to cover Big Brother 25. And so you definitely want to hang out. And we're also covering Survivor starting Wednesday. So yeah, so if you're enjoying the stream, hit that subscribe button because we will be back for Big Brother and we are here for Survivor. And we're going to do a lot of other fun Big Brother stuff in between seasons. Crazy Matt says, I respectfully don't agree with you. That is 1000% okay. I don't mind that at all. Like, that's why I love having these forums so we can chat about different opinions. And I 100% agree 100% that we don't all have to agree, right? I mean, that's part of what we do. If everyone just mindlessly agrees, you're never going to actually get anywhere. So you're just going to keep going with the same thought over and over. And I don't like that. I don't like being repetitive and just speaking my own opinions over and over. So I love having people that come in and have different opinions than me, because I often have much different opinions than what a lot of people have, what some of the larger voices in the community have. And a lot of them I agree with, a lot of them I don't agree with. So by all means, man, it does not hurt my feelings at all. I'm actually happy to have people that do differ, that as long as we can still have, like you said, respectfully, as long as we can still have respectful conversation about it and dialogue and talk to each other, that's all I care about. So yeah, feel free to disagree with me. No, there's no reason to think that my opinion is any superior to anyone else's. But I will aggressively disagree respectfully with the Terrence one personally. That's the only one where I'm like, oh, for me. But even that, you are not hurting, because again, like I said, I think people don't give Terrence enough credit. I think Terrence should get way more credit than what he got. So, and that a lot of that has to do with for me, I also feel like I tend to defend other players more when people are constantly putting them down in comparison to some other players. So I get you 100%. I'm trying to refresh something over here. Need to get a second screen. Eventually I will. This is very difficult without a second screen. Dylan says, whoop, whoop. Yeah, Dylan in the chat, he joins us for our Survivor recap. So we did our first one Wednesday for the premiere, and we had a lot of fun. If you guys haven't already checked out that Survivor recap, maybe you just didn't realize that we were doing it. It's the most recent video that we played back on the channel. So go check that out. If you're watching Survivor and you're having fun with Survivor, definitely subscribe and check out our recap that we did. We'll be back every single week the rest of the season. Marine says, I love pre-jury Kyle. I did too. I thought he was doing great. I was really enjoying watching pre-jury Kyle, and then he completely screwed everything up to go for Alyssa. And I feel like the older you get, like the more you're set in your relationship, it's a lot easier to kind of forget when you're younger and you're not in a relationship, and how easy it can be just kind of go along with, oh, this other person likes me like I like them, I'm going to pursue that. So I feel like it's a lot easier said than done, but I still feel like you're going in, you're playing for $750,000. You can still get the money and then find someone after. And even if you like the person in the house, if you win the money, they still might actually give you another opportunity. So win the money and then pursue the person you like. That's just my opinion. Marine says, Joseph, hands down, is my favorite BB24 player. I think I'd have to, again, personality, 100%. Player, Michael was my favorite player of the season. I think he was the best player for the season. But I definitely don't disagree. I still think Joseph was a very good player. I would say I would probably put him above Taylor in my opinion. That being said, I still have Michael above above Joseph for player wise, but personality, yeah, Joseph definitely my favorite personality this season. Crazy Matt says, I'm very surprised Joe wasn't top 3 for AFP. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. That shocked me. I was very, very surprised that we didn't get Joseph in the top 3. I honestly thought Joseph was going to win because I thought that they would still do the trickery behind the scenes that we know that they've done from seasons past. That I don't think they've wanted the winner of the show to be AFP before. And I think at this point, they just don't care. But I think we've had a few winners that probably won it secretly, and then they kind of fudged the numbers and bumped them off the list. But I definitely thought it was going to be either him or Taylor. I was shocked when he wasn't in the top 3, and I'm still very surprised he wasn't in the top 3. But I was shocked that he wasn't up there, and I'm a little bummed. Not gonna lie. I like Michael. He's my favorite player of the season. I think he was the best player this season, but I still would have liked Joseph over that, because when it comes to America's favorite player, I don't really care. Like sometimes the gameplay aspect, they're so good at that it makes they happen to be my favorite personality. Sometimes it doesn't intersect. So I would have loved to see Joseph win America's favorite player this season. Crazy Matt says I voted for Kyle. And the thing I said about that was I was surprised just as much that Joseph wasn't in the top 3 that Kyle was. I don't know that it would have been the best thing for Kyle to win, but personally, I'm glad that he at least made top 3, and I'm glad that they told him, because like I said before, some of the stuff he said, I completely understand why people were upset and hurt. Definitely understand why Joseph and Monty were upset, because they were like, dude, like, we were your friends the whole time. Like, we were with you, and you ran off and started something with Alyssa, and we were still like trying to stay with you. And then you thought we were turning on you because of this one other factor that has nothing to do with anything. So I get it. I completely get why some people were upset. I get why they were upset. But I also feel like the majority of the house kind of at least understood that they didn't feel like it was out of malice, and that it was just, he just made a poor decision. And I think that that's kind of how the rest of the majority of the audience took it as well. And I think that was a representation of that. Robbie also mentioned that, he does have a huge TikTok following. So that definitely brought some people in, and that definitely contributed. I wonder, does anyone know how many followers he has on TikTok? I don't follow him. I never looked at it. I don't go searching for people on TikTok. I just watch cooking videos. It's just a bunch of cooking stuff on my TikTok. But yeah, so I was surprised that Kyle made top 3. I was surprised that Joseph didn't make top 3. Yeah, I really did. I thought it would have been Taylor and Joseph top 2. And I really didn't know who the third person was going to be. I didn't really think about it too much. Mona says, I never took to Taylor as a person or as a player, but I hate the way she was treated. I am glad all the people who were so nasty are getting their comeuppance. And I think that's one thing that most people can recognize, is that the way she was treated, and just like the biggest example of it was just the way Daniel blew up on her, completely unnecessary. And I think most people can agree with that statement, that just the way Daniel treated her and talked to her, especially just blowing up on her in that entire scene where she truly was just trying to be compassionate to Nicole. That was terrible. And whether you like Taylor as a person, whether you like her as a player, and completely honest, I'm kind of with Mona. I didn't really ever take to her as a personality that much. And it took me a while, but I have come around to her as a player. I do think that she's actually done a pretty good job as a player. But I enjoyed watching her all season, because it was very satisfying to see someone that was treated so poorly, whether you liked her or not. That, again, just the way that whole thing was done to her just was not appropriate. And just watching someone that was treated so poorly being able to kind of come back and just, shove it back in their faces and win, that was awesome to see. and so I'm glad that she was able to really kind of stick it to the others. Again, I hated watching Jasmine and Indy, kind of nodding along with Taylor's speech. I thought it was kind of gross. I bought Alyssa. I know Alyssa, liked Taylor a decent amount, and obviously Brittany was a great friend of hers. So it was nice watching them, but just watching the two in the back, I was just like, oh my god. And then, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Again, listening to Jasmine as she went up to cast her vote, and just be like, oh, I'm giving this to the person that is doing what I so hoped I could do. I'm like, he never cared about that. You don't care. But anyway, so yeah, that kind of annoyed me. I was just like, come on, that's ridiculous. Marine says, I also voted Michael for AFP. Hey, that's awesome. And again, I think Michael is, he's my favorite player of the season. Again, not my favorite personality, my favorite player. I think he was the best player this season. And I'm glad that that was represented, because I really thought that a lot of that was going to get squandered when he kind of did Brittany the way he did. I'm not saying that it should have, but I definitely think a lot of people were, kind of lost a good taste in their mouth for him after that. So I was surprised, but I'm fine with it. My only thing is I wish that Joseph was in there, and I probably would have, if I could have taken my top three. I mean, my three favorite players probably would have been. I don't even know who my three favorite. That's really difficult because I want to put Kyle in there, but only pre-jury Kyle because he just hit so poorly post-jury. I mean, I like Turner a lot. Just he was entertaining to watch this season. He brought a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching Turner. So I guess I'd put him in there. I enjoyed watching Terrence this season a lot. He was really fun to watch for me, and then Joseph was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, I mean, I had fun watching Michael. I had a lot of fun watching him, just the way he was going about this season. I do think he was the best player of the season. So again, I don't know how I would rank him. I can't really rank people like that. I mean, one of my favorite person going into the season was Daniel, and look how that turned out. So I hate saying that. I hate saying that he was my favorite because he was like initially. I was like, this dude seems awesome, and that's upsetting. It's upsetting that he was not what I was hoping he was. Someone says he is all of us right now watching her with so much pride. Man, it's such a bummer seeing having to watch Joseph just see the betrayal because you could tell he was not he was really into Taylor. But yeah. Robbie said 500,000 something for Kyle's followers. So yeah, that is a pretty big following. I mean, the fact that what is the show getting? Like, I want to see. I'm gonna look at the ratings. Big Brother 24 ratings. I can never type on this stupid mechanical keyboard. Let's see. Well, that's cool, but that's not what I'm asking. I want a breakdown of the ratings of each episode. Okay, Thursday. Oh, that was for double eviction. Well, let's just look at this then because it's here. The ratings for the double eviction. 3.5 million total viewers. Okay, now that I believe is just as it's airing. That could have been also following the next day. Like if they publish that the next day, they might have been counting views up to that point. But we're just gonna say live views. Obviously Kyle did not get every single one of his followers to watch the show. Didn't bring that many people. But even just a quarter of that, you think, what's a quarter of 500? Well, half 250. So 125,000, even if just a quarter, which he probably didn't have that many, but we'll just say a quarter for argument's sake. 125,000 people watch that show. How many people actually vote for America's Favorite Player? I don't think very many out of the 3.5. So maybe 2 million, maybe 3 million, I guess, maybe. But I would say maybe like 2 million. I would like to know. I'm going to look into that sometime soon and see what the like overall number of voters, like if there's even like a tally, they might not even publish that, but I'd be curious if I could ever get like any question answered. That'd be one of them. Like if I could like have a sit down or some type of like written interview with one of the people in production. Not that I'd ever get that, but if I did, that'd definitely be something that I would watch, because a lot of stuff they don't really like to disclose. They like to keep a lot of stuff close to the vest for some reason. But I like to see behind the curtain with that type of stuff, and I'd like to gain a little more insight on that type of stuff. But yeah, all right, let's keep looking to see what else is on here. I like going and seeing. Xavier says this tweet aged well. Okay, September 15th. Xavier says if Taylor wins, first black female winner in BB history, potentially the first player to win the game and AFP, and marks the second straight year both the title of Big Brother winner and AFP will be brought back to Michigan. History in the making. Is Xavier from Michigan? I can't remember where he's from. And I guess who was AFP last season too? Kyle has okay, so almost 6,000 or 600,000 subscribers on TikTok. So yeah, he brought a decent amount of people, I would say. I mean, if you're following someone that strongly, because again, most of the people that I follow on TikTok, I would have no idea that they were on a reality show unless I was already watching that reality show. Would have no reason to know that. But there's definitely some that really follow their social media people strongly. Oh, I've been behind a little bit. Let's see. Wow, I didn't realize I was that far down. Crazy said he has another 120 on his Instagram. I would bet the majority of his Instagram people are doubling for TikTok. I would bet that. Not all, because there's definitely some people that I'll see, because I know a lot of content creators post on both. There's definitely some that I'll see on either or and not realize that they're also on the other one and have a decent following on the other one. So that does happen from time to time for me, but the majority of people that well, I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong on that. I might be wrong on that. I mean, there's got to be at least a decent following. Maybe not the majority, though. Maybe not the majority, but a solid amount that are doubling up. Marine said, oh, yeah, she said that's not a lot. TikTok. Chuo. How do you pronounce that? Chuo? Crazy. She broke the magic curse. What was the magic curse? Was it the non-winner winning, or was it the winner not winning AFP? What's the curse? I want to know what the curse is, because I've not heard of the curse. I mean, there's a lot of curses, but which one did she break? I'm missing it. I want to know. Let me know. Tell me. Tiffany. Oh yeah, Tiffany was America's Favorite Player last year. Were her and Xavier both from Michigan? I don't know. Is that what he said? That the title? Oh, both the title. Yeah. So I guess they were both from Michigan. But yeah, and then Taylor said, or Xavier said, this tweet aged well. It's my great pleasure to pass the crown of BB winner to Taylor, the first black female winner in BB history, non-celebrity edition. He says Michigan. So yeah, he says, yeah, I guess he is from Michigan. So now I'm just curious if Tiffany was as well. You know what I did not realize? I did not realize this, and I don't know how it completely slipped my mind. I did not realize that Monty's last name was Taylor. And my wife was looking something up, and she was like, Monty Taylor? And I was like, that's just because they're together. She was like, no, it literally says here Taylor. And she's like, what? Like, can you imagine like dating someone with the same person's same name as your last name? I guess not a big deal. I've seen crazier stuff. I've definitely seen crazier stuff. Like dating someone with the same first name as your dad. I've seen that before. I haven't, because I've not dated anyone with the same first name as my dad. I've never dated anyone that had a masculine name, and my dad's name is masculine. Well, very, very much a guy. I guess to say very much a guy name. But I have seen that. Chuo. I'm gonna say Chuo. If I'm saying your name wrong, let me know. I want to make sure I'm not saying it wrong. But Chuo says, sorry, I'm checking. Oh, dang it! I keep bumping something. Hold on. Here we go. Sorry, Chuo says Maggie, the winner, BB6. She didn't win either the final HOH and still won by getting chosen by the final HOH person. Has been a winner that won like that. I don't know that that's true. I don't think so, because I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Cody was the winner of the final HOH, wasn't he? Because I know that and sorry, in season 16. I could be wrong, but am I wrong on that? I'm pretty sure Cody won the final HOH in season 16 and took Derek, and obviously Derek won. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna beat y'all to it because I know someone's gonna correct me, so I'm gonna beat y'all to it. BB 16 final. Part 3 HOH. Oh gosh, I cannot type on this mechanical keyboard. Big Brother spoilers. That's not what I want. I'm not gonna find it on here, am I? Big Brother 16. Okay. Can I see a list of all winners for each comp? Okay. Let's go under finale. Okay. Okay. It says the final 3 competed, the house guest, with Cody hung on longest in one on day 92. Derek took a second part, and then Derek. Oh no, the house guest who finishes faster will face off against Cody. Derek was the winner. 4-4. Cody and Derek answered tiebreaker. Therefore, the final HOH. Cody was closer to the correct number. Okay, yeah. Okay, so no, Cody did win. Cody did win the part 1. Was he saying neither the final HOH and still won by getting chosen by the final HOH person? Yes. Okay, but see, here's the thing. So Cody won the final HOH. He took Derek, and then Derek beat him. So Maggie didn't win any HOH on the finale, but still won the game. And now Taylor's next person. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I completely see. I know exactly what you're saying. Yes, because Cody, you were saying hasn't competed. Yes, Derek still competed in part 3. So basically what Chuo's saying is that someone hasn't, since season 6, been not even compete in part 3 of the final HOH, been brought, because that has happened before where the person that didn't compete was brought, but they have always gotten beaten since. There's been several people that have lost, that have played in part 3 of the final HOH and lost and still won, but no one that was brought in that didn't even play in part 3 won. So that's another record. Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry. I was not quite exactly understand what you're saying, but no, you're completely right. I missed that. Completely missed that. Chuo is definitely right on that. So yeah. Sorry, I'm over here trying to be like, oh, look at me, I know more, and then that's what I get for trying to look like I know what I'm talking about. That's what happens. Anyway. But yeah, that's cool. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh yeah, Mike Bloom says, "Holy crap! I am not a shield. I am a sword. I am not a victim. I am the victor." Dude, when she said that, I freaking lost. I was like, "I am not the victim. I am the victor." That was great. That was like one of the best lines we've gotten in a long time. Great. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Cody won the final HOH in 16. Yes, Cody won the final HOH in 16. But like, I guess the example Chuo was saying is that if Cody won the final HOH, brought Victoria instead because she was not the person he played against in part 3, brought Victoria instead, and the Victoria beat him. If you get brought and you haven't competed, the likelihood, just based on season statistics, it's very, very slim that you would win. So much so that we've only had 2 so far, with Taylor being the second. So yeah, I was misinterpreting what Chua was saying, and I apologize for that. I was completely misinterpreting it. I'm gonna turn my fan back on. I told you guys I'd turn my fan back on because I was gonna get too hot. So give me just a second. There we go. On, but not like super on, not full blast. Anyway, it's fun. I'm enjoying going through Twitter and seeing what anyone else has to say. Taylor's legal team looking so proud. That's pretty good. Gosh, I wish I could get this to like open up more. But Twitter on Windows sucks. And also too, y'all said he escaped Taylor's karma. No, they just had something special for him. He wanted to be the one to embarrass Taylor so bad just for her to beat him in a landslide, friends on him, and flirt with Joseph in his face. Mind you, he gets his phone back today. Poor Monty. Yeah, I will say I enjoyed Xavier to a degree. I was not as big on Xavier last season as everyone else was. If you know, in my opinion, the best. Which again, I mean, he beat out Kylan, so there's, that's how that is. But having a black winner last season, I would have preferred seeing Kylan. Overall, I would have preferred seeing Kylan or Tiffany. I take that back. I would have much rather seen Tiffany win last season and then Kylan and then Xavier. I definitely did not dislike Xavier at all, but I don't think I wasn't his biggest supporter. I definitely thought that there were some much better players in there than Xavier. And again, last season was just so much fun. I wish we'd started covering last season because that was so much fun to watch. Definitely a better season than this one, in my opinion. Speaking of curses, it broke my curse because season after season after season, I've always said, for some reason, I've enjoyed the even number seasons way more than the odd. And that finally broke after last year because I enjoyed 23 way more than I enjoyed 24 overall. I wish we had a live audience for that season. I love the live audience, and I just wish that wouldn't have to go so long with that. I know a lot of people don't, but I like it. Chuo says, "No, you're okay. I wish I could explain it better, but oh no, you're fine. No, I was just not. I wasn't reading it thoroughly. It was I got what you were saying. I probably didn't read it all the way through." Marine says Taylor gave the best speech ever in BB history. She definitely one of the best. Because like I said, I mean, regardless of, I don't know who I would have voted for in that. Towards the end, I started to really think that maybe she might have been a better player than Monty. But if I wasn't already thinking that, dude, she would have sold me in a heartbeat. Like with that speech, she could have sold ice to an Eskimo, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was inspiring. And, again, I'm not the victim. I'm the victor. Was insane. Absolutely insane. Because again, like early in the season, like she was more reserved. She was quieter. She was kind of unknowingly let people treat her negatively, speak bad about her. And I don't think that's due to any, her being weak. I just don't think she was aware. And then you start to see she figures out what was happening. She figures out what was being said. She starts to like really understand like what people are saying about her and how people are handling her. And once she did, she kind of had almost like a grieving period. And then once she got past that, she was like, "No, I'm gonna undo this and I'm gonna fight." And we're still gonna, take it out. And she won, because even when the leftovers were still first formed, even in the early stages of that, the leftovers were still thinking about her being one of the first ones to go out. So she was really kind of getting shafted throughout the entire time. Crazy Matt says DX was my favorite last season. DX was one of my favorites. I just wish he could have seen what was going on. And again, I was surprised that he ended up. I don't feel like he was as good last season as I would have liked for him to be quite frank. But he was one of my favorites, and I think that in a returning season, he would do way better. I think as an actual fan now, someone that knows the game, understands how the game operates. Because I mean, he went in last season asking people, "How does the veto ceremony work?" Like he didn't understand. He didn't know anything. And I would like to see a fan version of DX come back and play much harder and much better than he did last season. I think he could do a wonderful job. Tiffany was my favorite last year. Tiffany was my favorite last season, hands down. And then Kylan, and then I think DX. And then Xavier, and then probably Chata. Chata might be above Xavier, in my opinion. But maybe not. I'm not sure. They're probably right about equal. But yeah, Tiffany, Kylan, DX. I didn't like how Kylan kind of spun out at the very end. He definitely kind of had a bit of a tire blowout at the very end. I wasn't a huge fan of that. But overall, he was still one of my favorites last season for sure. For sure. Although I was watching, whenever I watched Thursday's episode, I was like, dude, what is he on? what is Kyler on, or Kylan? What is he on? Because he is just like zoning out. I liked Taylor's pant dress. I've not seen anything like that. That was cool. It's like a dress, but it's got like pant legs. I thought that was cool. Very, very bougie. Very fancy. They're your lawyers. You're just getting out. Yeah. Wonderful speech. What else you guys got? Throw some stuff in there, and because we'll probably start wrapping it up soon. We'll go until we run out of stuff to talk about, but start throwing your thoughts and opinions in there, guys. Chuo says Taylor has to be one of my top 3 favorite winners in BBUS. Love Dan in June too. Dan's my favorite winner. Derek is my second favorite winner. And then there's a few other people that should have been favorites that made it to top 2 that I feel like should have been. I mean, Dan's my favorite player, followed by Derek and then Tyler. Season 20, not 22, because season 22, Tyler was not very good. But yeah. Marine says, I want to know what Taylor and Nicole were talking about at the end of the show. Again, I think Nicole was trying to say, hey, I'm sorry. You're going to see a lot of stuff. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean, a lot of stuff. My head was spinning. Paloma influenced a lot of it. And you're in the house. I thought she was just really trying to cover her tracks. And who knows? Maybe she was genuinely apologizing. Maybe she genuinely felt bad and was really trying to apologize based on that. Granted, a lot of that is probably from some of the feedback she got. So she's also hearing other people say she should feel bad. So I don't know, but we can give her the benefit of the doubt. Sure. But I think Taylor was like, awesome. Hey, 100%. I love you. No hard feelings, but also I'm going to wrap this up now. I got to get to other places. We'll talk later. And I loved seeing that. I loved seeing that he was just able to, or she was able to just kind of like, okay, yeah, yep. Love what you're saying. That's awesome. I hear you. I respect you. Now, also, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put you away now. I got much other stuff to get to, which is awesome because from her being spoken down to and just treated so poorly by Nicole and by Daniel, for her to now be in the position where she can be like, I'm done with you. Like, that's awesome. I appreciate you saying that. I'll hear you out, but also I'm not going to, I'm kind of done with this. I got other stuff to get to. And it probably wasn't even as straightforward as that. It probably just like a lot of people trying to grab her attention. So she's trying to just get past, and that's fine. I get that. But just the visual of seeing that did kind of feel like she was like, all right, I hear you. That's awesome. We'll talk later. I got to go. Marine says, I wanted Oh, yeah, we just read that. Crazy Matt says, I like Christian better than everyone but DX. I hated watching an Alliance steamroll. I agree. I hated watching the Alliance steamroll. And it got to a certain point last season where I was just kind of like tired of having to watch the steamroll portion. That's one thing that this season definitely did do better is we didn't have to like we had a bit of that Alliance steamroll, but even within the Alliance steamroll, there was still a lot of tension with the leftovers. And then like even as they were steamrolling it, like it was still very entertaining because we were still getting a lot from the other side that was helping make that whole situation more enjoyable. And on top of that, we also had a lot of cracks forming pretty much since the beginning of the leftovers, and we saw that come to fruition way before they had the opportunity to make it to final six. So I do think from a steamroll aspect, I think this season was better, but everything else about last season, I think the players were better. I think the strategy was better. And as much as I didn't like the steamroll, that still was, at least a better game move for the people that were in that alliance at the time. For some of them, I mean, obviously it was the best for X. I wish that Tiffany would have been able to just kind of jump ship on the cookout and side with Derek and Chada and Claire, and just kind of start going the other route. And I think her and Chada would have had a much better chance at winning if they could have done that. I think, a lot of, Claire and DX would have had a better chance, but I think for the two members of the Steamroll Alliance, that being Tiffany and Chada, I think they both would have had, if they had stuck together, pulled in DX and Claire, I think they could have done way more and had a much better chance at winning. The thing with Christian is I did like Christian, but I don't think, personally, I think there were a lot better players last season than Christian. I think he was kind of a bit of a shield, a bit of a used as a weapon, and I think he had potential to be better than that. But that's kind of what he, in my opinion, I think he just kind of fell to that. He kind of saw that's what he was being used as, and fell to it, which isn't necessarily a bad move. But you at least have to still make yourself aware of what's going on. And I don't think he realized the position he was in until it was too late. And so I did enjoy Christian a lot. And I liked him a lot more than a lot of other people. But I wouldn't say he was my favorite or my second favorite. But he was up there. I love watching him. I had a great time with him. Crazy Matt says, Dan, Derek, Will, Cody, Tyler. That's my top five. Yeah, Dan, Derek, Tyler, Cody. I think Tyler is a better player than Cody. Again, I think that BB20 Tyler is a slightly better player than BB22 Cody. One of the main reasons I say that is because in BB16 Cody was able to rely on Derek to bring him info. We even saw in 22 where Cody was saying, I'm used to having Derek bring me info. Now I have to find other avenues. And he was using Danny a lot as that source for a while to get like info as to what's going on in the house and stuff. Tyler didn't have to rely on other people doing that. He was putting himself in a position where, and I mean, Cody did too, to a degree, but he was able to get that info. He was able to seek that out. He didn't just have to kind of wait for other people to bring that to him. I love Cody. I think he's a great player. And I think he's a real cool guy. I've been able to chat with him on his streams a few times, and he's just really awesome. But I do think that that Tyler, at least from 20, was a slightly better player. I think if Tyler brought his A game, I think he could have beat Cody in 22. His head just wasn't in it. And, that was unfortunate because I wanted to root for Tyler, but, overall, it was way harder to root for Tyler than it was for Cody. I had a great time watching Cody play in 22, and I don't think he gets enough credit as a winner, in my opinion. I think a lot of people discredit him a lot, and I don't like it, but that's my opinion. Will always be my favorite. And that's another thing too. Like every time the cast interviews come out and someone says Dan's their favorite, everyone's like, "Oh, of course he is. That's the correct answer to give." Well, yeah, that's the correct answer because Dan's the best player. Like, I don't understand that. Yes, Dan is my favorite player because as someone that cares about strategy way more than comp wins, way more than social game is part of strategy, but just having a social game and not having any strategy to go along with that, I think is complete crap. And so anyone that gets annoyed when someone says Dan's my favorite player, yeah, because he's the best player. Like he is the best player, hands down. Like that's just how it is. So yes, Dan is my favorite player. Derek is my second favorite player. And Cody's probably behind Derek. Will, I think Will was a good player. I think the thing about Will, here's the thing about Will for me. I think that the time that he was playing, I think the environment of the house, the environment of the game as a whole, he was able to play the game he played and get away with it. He adapted to a degree, him and Boogie in season 7, and they had to kind of change their strategy a little bit because what they did in season 2, even by the time season 7 rolled around, they still weren't able to play like that. But I don't know that he would, like, not just because of his age. If Will played today, he's not going to win, and Will knows that. That's why Will won't come back for a winner's season, for an all-star season. He knows that he can't win, and he wants to maintain the title of best winner. And a lot of people have him in that boat. I don't personally, but best winner, best player. I don't personally. He's definitely up there for sure, but I don't have him as the best. But a lot of people do, and I think he wants to save face with that and maintain that idea. And I think that we'll never see him come back again, even for a shortened season, because I think he doesn't want to get rid of that title. But that being said, even if he did come back, and not even even if he came back young, right? Even if he came back young or like the same age he was, even just an All Stars, I say young like he's not younger as a young kid. I still don't see him, at least that style, making it very far. This is going to be a hot take. I'm going to say this right now. And I know a lot of people are going to hate it. I see Will in today's game, not even today's society necessarily. I'm not even going to say that, not even in this year, but the way that to the point that the game has evolved at this point, I don't see Will doing any better. He could go further. He could definitely go further. And I do think he's smarter than who I'm going to compare him to. I do think he's smarter than this guy. But on a game level, I think he's a slightly smarter, well, significantly smarter, but smarter, far more suave, far more smooth and charming version of Pooch. I think so. That's kind of where I think Pooch is kind of, I think he plays into it, but I think he kind of comes across as an idiot. And I think that he definitely tries to play up that persona. I don't think that's the same thing as Will, but I think that he kind of would play that kind of swag style game that I don't know that all the players would buy into. I don't. I think I enjoyed watching him. I think he's a better player than Pooch, but I think that he would be kind of compared to that same level if we got him from then. I know that's a hot take. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. And I understand it, and I'm not mad. I said it's a hot take for a reason, because it's a hot take. But again, that's kind of where I stand on that. Chuo says Will is kind of like Richard from Survivor. They knew the game well enough, etc. That's I agree. I agree. I think that is a very good comparison to make. And Richard Hatch would not have made it. Richard Hatch put out a video after One Is at War saying, or maybe it was as it was going on, saying that he was initially going to be brought back, but then some of the controversy from his second season, came up, and then there was a big fight about that, and he didn't get brought on because of some of that. I don't know that he was ever actually considered, and I don't know that he would have wanted to go on. He talks a big game about how he would have wanted to, and how could you not have the original winner, yada yada. Which I like. If you're gonna have a winner season, and the original winner is like within a decent enough age range to bring on, like I agree. Like you got to at least put him on there or try. But I don't think he would have wanted to be on, because I don't think he would have made it very far at all. I think that his type of game was too chaotic for that, and in a way that the current players wouldn't have really wanted to deal with. Crazy Matt says Will finished first and fourth and never won a single comp. Yep. It's true. And that is a hard feat to make. And I do not disagree with that at all. I know a lot of people are like, you have to win comps to win Big Brother. No, you don't. Not in my opinion, you don't. Like, you can be pure strategy based and still end up being a great player without having won any comps, as long as you are behind some of the moves that are being made. Your influence is there. Like, you are getting those decisions made, and you are getting what you want done. Like, that's where it falls down for me. You are able to get done what you want. Like, you have a goal, you have a target, you're able to get that target set and gone and out, right? If you're able to do that, I feel like you're a good player, especially you're able to do that multiple times. So just because someone doesn't win comps, I know a lot of people disagree, and I understand why, but I don't agree with just because, if you never won a comp, that means you're not a great player, or you're not even the best player. No, I don't agree with that at all. So yeah, that is still very impressive, and not very many people can say that, that they've been able to accomplish that. Marine says Dan was a good player, but definitely not my favorite. Yeah, Dan's just he's a great player. He's my favorite. Dan's my favorite player of all. And again, I know a lot of people say that, but that's because he's the best player, in my opinion, but also in the opinion of many players. I would have loved to see him in an all-star season, but he wouldn't have gone very far. And again, like, it's just so, like, I don't know. If he's really bringing his game, he's actually wanting to play. I think that here's the thing. I think with Dan, I think if you're able to get Will in, if you're able to get Derek in, you're able to get Cody in. If Tyler were to come back and he was actually like hard fighting, you get him back. I think you get someone like, and I know I said he wasn't my favorite. I don't think he was the best, but I do think from a competitive angle and from like a perspective of, like, fans of the game, you bring someone like X back, Xavier. I think you get some really high dollar names. I think if you get him to the point where he's feeling competitive, because honestly, I feel like there's not a lot of lineup where he would feel like the push enough to go, fight for the title of best. But I feel like if you have all those other guys in there, he's going to get that itch. He's going to get that itch. And he's like, no, I got to go in and fight. And if you can get all those guys back, you can convince Dan to come back and play with them. I think we're going to get a competitive player. Do I think he wins? I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. But I think he would do very good. I'd love to see Vanessa thrown in there too. Like, that whole lineup, like, there's so much potential with the Legend season if they could get like a short. And again, if you're able to get like a 3-week version of it, like, even if you didn't just do a winners and you just did like the best of the best Legend season, you get those guys in there, that would be an insane season to watch. That would be phenomenal. And only 3 weeks, you're going to get some insane competitiveness. They're going to fight like crazy. And I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Dylan says he should have been on. I'm assuming you're talking about Hatch on Survivor on Winners at War. Yes, Richard Hatch, I feel like should have been on. If they chose not to invite him, I think that was a mistake. I just don't think he would have done very good. Chuo says, I wish I can see Eric from season 8 play again just to redeem himself. 100%, dude. And he is still fit. He is still young enough that he's like, even now, he's like, I want to get out and play. Like, if you ask him, he's like, I want to play again, or at least as of a couple years ago. Within the last few years, he was like, I want to get out and play again. I want to redeem he's like, if there's a partner season returning, like, call me. I'm willing to preseason preseason strategize. Like let's go. Like, he is 100% down, and he's still kind of on their minds because he was in Monty's comic. He was still there. Which, again, I need to find someone that can edit it me in Monty's place for Monty's BB comic, because I want that comic. I want a poster of myself with that exact backdrop. I think would be awesome. And I would also say especially add Janelle. I don't know why Janelle wasn't there, but add Janelle, and I'd say add Boogie too, just for nostalgic sake. I think that'd be fun. But yeah, no, Stein was in there. I mean, Stein was in there, and he, I mean, it was very thematic what they were doing, but still, I think that, he's a great player. He should have the opportunity to redeem himself. I think if he came back and played, he would be phenomenal. I think if he was allowed to play for himself back in season 8, I think he would have given Dick a run for his money. And I think that there's a high likelihood that we would have a different winner for season 8. For sure. If he was actually not America's player and was playing for himself. So that's, I would love to see Eric play. And I think you could get him as a legend status just for the title of the America's player, because they've had different iterations of America's player and America's and that, but never just straight outright America's player. He's the only one that's ever been America's player. And to the extent that he had to go through, there were times when, like, even with like Team America, they just had missions they had to accomplish. They never had someone had America influence who they were voting for. They never had America influence who they had to nominate and who they had to use a veto or not. Like, every single decision he made each week was what America wanted, which was the most bullcrap thing ever. I would love to get to see him come back and actually play his own game. But like, the fact that he had that staple, that's still legendary status, because that's never been done by anyone. And I don't know why he hasn't been called back before. I don't, but I definitely think that he is deserving, and I think he would be an awesome player. You know what I just realized? I think I've realized this too. Eric Stein from season 8. Has anyone seen like Steve from Blue's Clues? I feel like he looks so much like Steve from Blue's Clues. I know that thoughts popped in my head, and I've just never like actually put it together, but I think so. I think that might have been why I liked him so much in season 8, because I was still like a little kid when I watched it, and I was like, that dude looks like Steve from Blue's Clues. A much more adult version of Steve from Blue's Clues. But I think it looks a lot like him. Crazy says Dan, Derek, Will, Cody would be pre-aligned before that season ever started. They would, 100%. But that's the only season that I would like. Well, I say this. Part of me on one hand would be like, no, don't give it any twist. Just let them play. Let them fight it out. But I think that they kind of would have to have some type of twist this season to break those pairings up, because it's like, but at that point, I'm just like, I know you guys don't want to peel behind the curtain. You don't want to expose the preseason, but talk about it. I mean, in Survivor, Winners at War, we had them talking about the Poker's alliance that didn't even exist, but it was based off like, oh, all these guys played poker on, the Poker Channel one time, and now they're like, they joked around about being in an alliance together, so they must be, and they weren't. They didn't care about that. That wasn't a real thing, but we got to see that. That was a preseason type thing. They didn't have to show that at all. Like, there's no fees on Survivor. You could have edited that out and no one would have known. But show the preseasoning and then show the audience, hey, because they did this and we knew they would, we have to break that up and have some twist that like isn't game shattering, but just something that's going to force that to at least crack a little bit. And also too, they should be prepared for that. They should go in knowing something like this is going to happen. That's going to try and make us crack. And But I think that at that point, even though they would still be predicting it, there's still a solid chance that whatever the twist is, it could break them up. And they're going to go in thinking, oh, yeah, we'll be fine. But the paranoia is going to get to them. Crazy Matt says, I'm good friends with several comic book artists. I can let you know when they are open commissions. Dude, yeah, send that to me. Because if they could like do that, I would totally get a custom comic like that done. Oh, guys, I got to show you something. I got to go grab it. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Speaking of custom stuff, I was going to show this off. Don't go anywhere. I got to go grab it. I'll be right back. All right, I completely forgot to grab this. I was going to grab it. I told you guys that I was getting this done. I told you guys. But I finally got my key. Big brother key. I'm going to get, like, when I get my shelf set up on the back, I'm going to get like a shelf behind me, and I'm going to get my key put up. I'm going to get a veto put up. We'll have some Survivor buffs. And if we can get like one of those custom comics with that backdrop behind me, we'll have that up too. But yeah, that's awesome, dude. I gotta find I can't remember. Let me go find the name. I got it from Etsy, and well, no, I'll pull it up on my phone. I got it from Etsy, and I told the dude I'd give him a shout out because I said, hey, I really want to get this before finale night. Is that possible? And he said, 100%, I'll get it to you. You'll have it by finale night. Let me go find the name of the shop. It's called Dimensions Gifts, and they're in Kansas City. So yeah, Dimensions Gifts. And dude, it was only like $15 before shipping. So if you guys want one, they also let you do the new logo, like the current logo. They have the very old school and then the current one the guy does, and not like the in between one, but and like not this one, but like you guys know what I mean. But the modern logo and then the old school logo, and I chose the old school because I was like, I'm an old school player. But yeah, guys, it's legit. It's a little bit bigger than what I would have wanted. I wanted like an actual like true to size, because I was even like watching them tonight because like they're trying to cover up like, I don't know. It's not that much farther off. So I'm very happy with it because there's some other Etsy shops that I found. Churro says this is in Kansas City. Well, so it's just an Etsy shop. So I don't know that like I don't know living there, like besides shipping time, I don't know that living there would get you any faster because it's not like a physical shop. At least I don't think he has a physical shop. But yeah, it's just like some guy on Etsy and he just 3D printed and painted it. But it's I love it. I absolutely love it. I was gonna try and get it set up. I keep doing that. Trying to get the glare there. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit better. Tilt that way. That glare down. There we go. But yeah, like exact color. Got the old school logo. Like I said, literally the only complaint. Well, I don't like the keyring hole there, but I think that's probably just the way it was printed. Kind of has to have that. So it's it's whatever. Because he also gave me like a free keychain too. It was one of these. It was much smaller. It's like this big. That one's got the modern logo. I wish I had it. I took that to work and I hung it at work. I'll bring that. I'll show you guys that another time. But it's got the more modern logo, and it's an actual keychain. And that one was purple. But yeah, so it's part of like the design thing, I guess, like the way it's molded and printed. So that's like the only real complaint I have. But even then, like that's so minor. And I wish it was slightly smaller. I wish it was slightly more realistic to the ones that the house guests get, just in like size. But I mean, it's not even that much bigger. Like it is a little bit bigger, but like hardly at all. Like hardly at all. So it'd be cool if I had some like thing on the back too, but it's whatever. I am super happy with it for $15. like the customer service. I asked the dude, I was like, I really want to get this for finale night so I can show off to the stream. Now I'm going to shout him out. And I was like, I'm going to shout you out on stream and everything. So Dimensions Gifts. I don't know if I need to spell that because I'm a terrible speller. But yeah, DIMENSIONS Gifts, because I'm a terrible speller. And some people might not be the best speller like me, and I don't want you to feel bad if that's the case. So here, I'll show you on my phone here. This is the keychain. I don't know if I can. Here, actually, this is what I'll do. I'll go on here because I can bring it up over here. And I'll show you guys the store real quick so you can see, because I want to give the suit a proper shout out here. Oh, I'm not signed in. Maybe this can sign me in. Oh, sign in here. Maybe this will do it. Hopefully this will do it. Hopefully this is the right account. I think it is. Purchases. Oh no, it's not the right account, is it? All right, we're gonna try one more. Sign out of here. Let's see, sign in. There's so many people that are like, this is so boring. I don't care. We've been going long enough. We can have a little bit of fun because we're about to sign off. But we will. I want to show you guys this real quick, if that's the right deal. Hope that signs me in. No, it's probably not even that one. Let's try this one. Let's try. No, let's not do that. Let's do here. And let's pull up. See if this signs me in. I'm unable to access my account. Don't know why. Well, crap. I'm not going to sit here and fight with it. Let me try this one last one just to see if this gets me in. Hope it does, but I don't think it will. Let's see. Is this the correct account? No, that one's still not. So it's got to be that other one then. So let me try one more time, just because I might be able to if it works. If it works, let's try this. Last time. Let's try last one. No, I don't know. I don't know if that's working. Oh, Crazy Matt's putting some links in for comic artists. I will definitely go back and check that out after the fact with after I go look at the stream posted. I will definitely go check those guys out because that would be awesome to get like a commission custom deal. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me in. It's got me locked out of my Etsy account. But yeah, I will definitely go check those out. Dean James, comic artist on Twitter. His commissions aren't open yet. And then Shelby Robertson, another comic artist, but he might not be open too. But I'll go check those guys out and just see, So thanks for the links for that, because yeah, I want to get like backdrop decked out and stuff. I think that'd be awesome. And then I don't know if I said for Survivor, I'm gonna get like a couple buffs. I've been looking for, because my favorite season of Survivor of all time is the original Blood versus Water. I want to get at least one buff. I'd like to be able to get all three ultimately, both pre-merge tribes and then the merge buff. But at least just the merge buff, and I can't even find him anymore. Like some, it just kind of passes through. I know there's a Facebook group where people show off their buffs. I don't know if they allow like buy and sell requests, but I might have to look into that, because I definitely want to get a original Blood versus Water, at the very least merge buff, and then I want to get some like hidden immunity idols, because same on Etsy, people also make custom immunity idols too. That'd be cool. But yeah. All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We've been going for longer than I thought we were. I didn't think we'd be going this long, but an hour and 45. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for a wonderful season of Big Brother. I had a blast this season, and there were moments of this season that were hard to get through, hard to watch, and almost made me want to turn it off altogether. But you guys have made this season and watching this show. I've been watching this show, like I said, since I was, 3, since the season came out. And this season has been far more enjoyable than any other season that I've ever watched because of you guys, because of this community we built and this channel we've started. And I am so thankful that you guys are here and that you've some of you've been here since the very beginning. Again, huge shout out to our friend Tom over at TV Talks with Tom. He has been such a good friend to the channel. And he's been a big inspiration for us over here. I know we don't really do things the way he does, but just on a level of like his dedication and the way he does it, he's been a great mentor and a great friend, and he sent lots of people over my way. And so if you are here from Tom's channel, thank you so much for following his advice and sending coming over and joining. Chuo said he subscribed and liked. Are you new? Is this your first time? Because I know it's your first time hanging out in the chat. So if this is your first time being here, thank you so much for subscribing. It's really, truly awesome. I just heard one of my other favorite YouTubers, not Big Brother at all. I've mentioned him before, John Campia, but I've been following him for like almost a decade. And someone recently said, been viewing since like a recent time. And he was like, hey, I love hearing that people have been following since the very beginning, but I also love hearing people like you that say you just recently found me because it shows growth. And so having you guys come on and telling me that you guys subscribe, let me know. Like if you're here and you're new and this is your first time and you're hanging out and you subscribe, like let me know, because I want to welcome you guys in. You guys are supporting me in ways that you have no idea. And I can't believe it, because like 2 or 3 seasons ago, before, like in between 21 and 22, I said I should really start my own deal, and I never did. And I wish I had back then, because I feel like we could have been such better off now. But I'm just glad that we started it all, and I'm excited for future seasons. I'm excited for Canada if we're able to figure out how to watch those as it airs. Me and Dylan are having a blast covering Survivor. Again, if you guys like Survivor and you don't already know, we're covering Survivor this year. We started with Wednesday's premiere episode. Me and our friend Dylan, Mike on the mic, he is joining us for our Survivor coverage this year. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. And after Survivor's over, we're going to be doing some fun stuff involving Big Brother, going and watching past seasons and having a fun time with that. So, yeah, guys, again, like you guys have made this season so much more fun than any other season has been. And it is truly awe-inspiring to see how far we've come so far. And again, we're not going anywhere. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight and all season. Thank you for sticking with me. I kind of made it a meme pretty much at a certain point where I said, we'll see you guys Sunday. And then I could never get on for Sunday. Well, we finally saw you guys Sunday. I was going to say that at the beginning. I forgot. But we finally saw you guys Sunday. We're finally here on a Sunday again. Not our first one, but after a while, we just stopped doing Sundays. But yeah, I've had so much fun this season. I am so appreciative for all of you that have been here and that are still here and that are just now finding us and hanging along. And yeah, just been a lot of fun, guys. So thank you so much for tonight. And like I said, come back Wednesday, because we will be here for Survivor. And I definitely plan on picking up for BB Canada if that airs like normal, and if I can figure out watching it live. But thank you guys so much for everything, and we're excited. If you're not sticking around, we saw more Sunday Dak than HOH comps this year. Hey, there you go. But yeah, guys, if you're not coming back for Survivor, if you're not a Survivor fan, definitely don't go anywhere, because like I said, we'll be back for Canada. We'll be back for next season, Big Brother, for season 25, baby. Let's see what happens. Let's see who's there. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And like I said, don't go anywhere, because you'll see me around. If you're not here for Survivor, you'll see other Big Brother stuff going on. Again, pre-old season stuff and all that. So Thank you guys. And we will see you guys soon. Have a good night.